Hello, gamers. We're back with some 5-minute chess. Am I crazy, or did I go 2-1 in the last video? That's rare for me. A little 2-1 action. Uncommon at this stage of my life. It's a little, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. This is called the Hungarian defense. Check this out. Boom. Takes, check. Goes here. He goes, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what he does. He probably does bishop to here. And then I go checkmate somehow. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that instead. But it's kind of tempting. I don't know if that's supposed to be the next play. I'm now definitely on the back foot. Or am I? I don't know. Like if I play bishop to here, what are you going to do? Knight to here. Okay, if I play this, what are you going to do? Knight to here? Oh, interesting. I don't like your knight being there. Is basically what I'm trying to say is I don't love your knight being there. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to castle. We could play knight to here, screw up this bishop, trade for the bishop. I don't know. I got an active knight. They got an active knight. Is anybody that disappointed with where they're at right now? Probably not. They want to stop knight to there, or they're going to... No, you know what they're going to do? They're going to push d5 next. So they get the exchange and block my bishop in a little. What do we do in this situation? After we take, we're up a pawn. We're threatening their knight. So they have to do something with this knight. But they blocked a good space for it to go. They probably go here, which also seems like a pretty good space, to be honest with you. Makes it very hard to get to their king. Not a huge fan of that. Maybe you can get up an advantage somehow and then trade down to a reasonable endgame. I don't know. They pushed it anyway. I don't know what's going to happen, quite frankly. I'm going to take because I get a pawn. We have this. They will... Okay. In that case, they're going to try that next. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to take this. Now we're actually like up a pawn. Like we sealed our advantage. Am I feeling smart, or am I about to be taken for a ride? I don't have an answer for you. Now this I take because this isolated pawn is a lot easier for us to attack in the future. Let me tell you something I like. This puts too much pressure on their bishop. They got to figure out what they're going to do. If they take with the knight, we're getting closer to having like, you know, doubled or tripled rooks here. The first, actually, you know what we do first? I'm going to pin this son of a gun so they can't move him. And then I'm going to play this. And you better hope this move's a doozy. You better hope it's a doozy, man. Also, I don't know if I'm winning. I just feel like our position is better. But I've been wrong about that, as we've seen in analysis many times before. I mean, they could always play this. No, they can't. Because if they play that, I take their queen. They take with the rook. I take their bishop with my rook. Are you sure you're not under sedation, NL? You seem to be actually taking the time to calculate a move in advance. I know, it's unusual for me. So let's see, what could they do? I mean, if they do this, what do I do? You take. They take. You take. They're blown away. Okay, I thought that this could happen. I think you just take first. I think I'm totally fine, because we're up anyway. Let's think about it, though. We take, we're up a knight. They're up a rook. We're up a knight. If they take me, we're even. And then I take their bishop, and I'm up again. Am I crazy? Maybe I miscalculated? We are trading bishop for knight, which I don't love. Okay, so they do that instead, and then they lose the piece on that end. And then we still have a nice juicy, like, pseudo-fork setup here. Still fine, because we have this piece protected. I know that they're looking for that. We'll trade here. See, this is what I said. Well, didn't I say it? We'll try to get into a position where we're going to trade him down. Now that we're up a couple of pawns, we'll trade him down to hopefully a nice, juicy endgame. There is some interesting stuff. I was going to say if you move to a position that doesn't cover this square, but that's pretty unlikely, I would suppose, because it's literally the square you're coming from. We could, like, check, and then you can't do anything anyway. It doesn't matter. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I can't move you. Wait, no, this is great. This is fantastic. Threaten their queen. Maybe they move to here. No, they have to keep protecting this. But they can't. They can't protect it here. They can't protect it here because we'll take with the knight. They can't protect it here because it's not protected and we would take their queen. I think we might have just won another piece. They can't move here. They can't move here. They can't move here. How do they protect the bishop? It can't be done. We must be up by like 20. Oh, they could literally just move there. Interesting. I didn't consider that move. No, but wait, we still have moves. Because I'm like, now, if you'll hold on a second, we can play this, and their queen is under threat. And we're threatening to take... We should just trade them. I think we were at the risk of being a little bit too creative. But what I'm going to do, I wanted to put my queen here. If they want to trade, I'm up a piece, regardless, so I'm happy. If they don't want to trade, we have this awesome diagonal setup. And I have to think about how I want to play it. But I'm definitely not that, which is what I was going to do. Let's briefly take control of the other open file. We had an open pawn. I didn't even consider that, to be honest with you. Okay, I don't sweat that, I think. I think we do this. Keep this boy in your mind at all times. You do not want to... Okay. I see where your head was at. You're like, the only way I can win is to threaten that rook. I understand. I've done it myself 1,000 times. I'm not even like... I completely get what you were going for there, and I think it's a very understandable blunder, especially as the time comes down. I'm not just being gracious. Have you seen some of the idiocy I've done? By the way, it's the best game of chess I've ever played. At least in 5-minute time controls. No inaccuracies, no mistakes, no blunders. Okay, start complimenting me, please. That's the last book move. They still like our position. There's only one move. There's no... They don't have any advice for me. They love this move. That gave us our first advantage. And then from there, we just cruised. Okay. I want to see how they felt about... They're like, that move's good. It's excellent, actually. And then move me one forward. They're like, that's fine. What I thought I should have done is take the pawn. But maybe rook from A to D1 gives us a positional advantage that's worth more than a pawn. They're like, that's a great move. That's a 7.63. How do they feel about this instead? 7.70. Okay, well, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Well, that was just a well-played game, okay? I'm not saying that we would have won against the Grandmaster. That's folly. But I enjoyed that one. I thought we didn't give anything away for free. Interesting. Are you going to castle? You've copied my every move. Now it's like, what do you do from here? Well, usually I like to get the bishop out. I would say I don't mind this. You have to be careful. Like, this threatens the trade if they move their bishop back. But they could also just move their bishop here, and then where does my knight go to get safe? There's not really a great spot for it. I think I'd rather just come here, which allows us to push this maybe in the future. We could play bishop to here first. Their bishop's not doing anything anyway, so why would we care? Interesting. What about this? Where do they move their knight? I think they get more out of that than I'd like. I like the exchange, I think. And then to be honest with you, I'm like, I don't really think I care about their knight being there. I definitely don't take the trade. I don't think their knight's causing me too many problems. For now, at least. The problem, the real problem is there's no good place to put my bishop. But whatever. Maybe that's not how like a good chess player would think about that. I'm going to play this. I don't want you to go here. I don't want your bishop to go here. Maybe we're threatening... No, that's not a great move because they got a juicy outpost here in the future. They didn't like it being there either. Okay, now we start to put some pressure and I'm like, now, okay, are you going to push me down? I'm going to guess no. I think it leaves you more wide open than you'd like to be. Now, I'll tell you, there's a temptation to go here. And then you're going to go here, and then we're... Okay. First things first. I don't know. I feel like we need control of the open file at some point in the future. Okay, so let's start working you down here. At least force you to make a move. Interesting. Very interesting. It's the same as last game. You took a rook. Okay, what? You're up by 3? I prefer this one. Thanks. Now we're equal again. We're equal, but I got the bishop pair. I think it was clever. It was aggressive. You didn't back down. But now you got to move your bishop, which means you lose this pawn. Oh, okay. Or you just take the pawn. But then I take the pawn. Who looks better here? I don't know. I like that we have the bishop pair, but my pawns are a little messed up. I don't think I would trade bishop for knight here, honestly. I think we love that we're in control of the open file. So we look at something like that immediately and then force them to protect it. That to that now looks a little bit better, but we got to find a way to protect this pawn. I almost feel like, wouldn't we be happier? No, this bishop is... It's tough, man. Hear me out. Okay, do the take first. Then play this. The pawn's protected. We have control of the open file. The rooks can be doubled. We can needlessly put them in check. If they move... Okay, they don't want to be put in check. As everybody knows, the objective of chess is never to be placed into check. So now we do this. Okay, and then we start to threaten this pawn. While also being ready to threaten this pawn via the X-ray. Interesting. It's a very interesting move. Next move I make, hadn't really thought about it. We got plenty of time considering the pieces that are available. This is going to be a hard pawn to take. This is going to be an easy one to take. The problem with this is that this just blows it out, which is probably what they play regardless. So I don't want to give them like, or even, well, no, bishop there is horrible. Like this looks like it threatens 2 pawns, but that resolves both situations. And it forces us to, you know what? We can play this. I see it now. They force us back and cover two pieces. We put them in check to get our tempo back. And then find a way to get your rook to attack this. It's hard because we need 2 pieces, right? Like we need 2 pieces to take any pawn. Yeah, that's the move. Then I put you in check. I don't know, maybe you pawn up and I don't get the tempo, but I also, yeah, okay. You move rook to e8, which is, no. We're going to have to use our pawns. That's unfortunate for me. Their bishop is really strong right now. I don't love that. They're going to get their rook involved. So the next thing that they're going to do is attack this, which is just what makes sense. So I actually have to move my king over here so that my bishop can be here without their rook being able to just push me down. Because otherwise their rook could just force my bishop back. I guess we could have played like h3 instead and then gone out, but this makes sense to me. We're doing some calculations. I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is how I'm going to get my rook out. Because it doesn't work right now. Here's what we can do. Play this. That pawn's not doing anything anyway. Trying to make the bishop a little bit worse. Covers a little bit less space. Attacks a little bit less. We have to move our king. The king's got to start to get active. This is a very, in my opinion, is a very complicated situation here. We have to play back. Otherwise, we lose this pawn. We could push and then basically force them to trade. We can no longer do that. We could trade our rook for 2 pawns. I don't think you need me to tell you that that's a pretty bad trade. I'm just going to play this because I want to not run out of time. You're not going to play that. I know you're not going to play that. Okay, let's cover some pieces and stay on the... Maybe you're going to play it now. Okay. We can still cover both, probably. I don't know. I preferred black's position here. We need to move bishop back so that it covers both. Okay, that's the play. Keep me here. Bishop back covers both. You're going to get down and attack this. Okay, that's fair. I have to put some pressure on this piece then. I need to get the tempo back. That's huge for us. Actually huge. Never mind, it's horrible for us. It's actively horrendous. I have to hope that their pawns are so screwed up. Yeah, I didn't see... I mean, if that wasn't check, it wouldn't be so bad. So we have to stop this pawn or push our pawns faster. Welcome to Those Are the Rules of Chess. I think it's this pawn, but it does matter. I think if we look at the analysis, I bet that that's where we threw. I feel like it's got to be that. And now, I don't know, because they still... Oh, first off, there's a misclick. But I don't think it really matters because their pawn was protected. Yeah, this is a resignation. That's fine. I do think, though, that the analysis is going to yell at us, and I think it's going to say you made an endgame mistake and you threw away probably like because in the endgame, a little imbalance leads to a huge advantage. No, they're like, you threw it away right here. The bishop was yours for the taking. Yeah, wait, we took the other bishop. That's not so bad. Oh, no, they're saying that's a good thing. I also, maybe I'm crazy. I feel like our opponent played kind of like a good game. But take me back here. Let's start the review. Let's see what went right. Let's see what went wrong. They're like, I'm glad that we've been able to play an opening that I'm like somewhat comfortable with. They say, hey, good move. They say, hey, good move. They love our position. Where did it go wrong? They hate that. You overlooked a chance to win material. That would have helped. That would have been nice. Literally didn't even think about it. Took the pawn instead. Okay, that's a bonehead mistake. But they still like our position. They're like, that's not a good move. You missed an opportunity to defend an unprotected piece. They want me to double up. Okay. Turns out that would have been a lot better. A lot of endgame mistakes. Like, we're still doing fine. This is where it falls apart. That was, like, pretty close to the end. Want to try finding a better move? This was a tough situation, man. Like, I honestly don't have an answer. Just thinking maybe this. It's about as bad. That's going to be much worse, I think. No, that's actually better. Hint me, hint me. It is a pawn. It's a one-move pawn move. Okay. I got to brush up on the endgame pawn theory. This seems like a mistake to me. Okay. Because they want me to play this again. Not really. Give me a hint. They want me to move this up one. Okay. I mean, these are going to be... These are tough. You are now in a worse position. Okay, because you wanted that 5 times in a row. They're like, don't do that. What should we have done? This. Okay. Honest, I think we get the gist of it on that. Not to say like I'm being dismissive or whatever, but I think they're basically like, hey, you misplayed the whole endgame. And I'm like, you know what? That's pretty true. Okay, we're playing the black pieces this time. I hate this move for you. You must know something I don't know. Like, it blocks in this pawn, which blocks in this bishop. Maybe it was a misclick. Like, I'm not... I guess we shouldn't get too anal about it. It also opens up a fork. I just want to resolve the pressure on my... Yeah, okay, so they move it back. We'll just be happy being a pawn up right now. And honestly, I don't think our pawn is going to live, regardless. I would rather trade and continue trading. And then... Dude, this is so tempting if this pawn wasn't here. Oh, man. But it is. I don't know. To be honest with you, I think everybody's got a pretty scary position. Like, that's not that good. But where else are we going to put our bishop? Nowhere. So, sure, let's do that first. This is bad. That gets taken. That doesn't do anything. This gets taken. I feel like that's piece development at no cost to ourselves. Now, how do we kick this queen out of there? When do we kick this queen out of there? That seems to me to be bad. But we got a lot of coverage here. I don't think there's any rush. I think we can... Are you going to play this next? That's the only thing. Does that even bother me? Not really. Because if you ever put a threat on like a bishop, I can just threaten your queen to try to get out of it. Maybe I care, maybe I don't. Either way, no, I think I care. I feel like the other thing you could do is double up on this diagonal to give yourself some support. So let's try that. And then if you play this, I can play that, kick you out. Maybe start talking about moving my knight to a different position to threaten or your knight with my bishop. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I am a little worried about like, oh, that's like a threatening mate in one. Yes, okay. So what do we do to respond to that? We play this and hope they don't realize that knights move like an L. Lord knows there's been times where I haven't realized it. We play a rook over here so that now we can play check and get an X-ray attack on the queen. And we're getting a lot of tempo development, I think, without them getting anything out of it except moving their queen around a bunch. That's not good analysis. I'm not trying to say this will make you a better chess player. I'm simply saying this is how I'm thinking right now. And maybe there's some flawed reasoning. I mean, there's a part of me that's like, okay, check. Not check, sorry. Actually, that's just not a good move. They could take my queen and we trade and we resolve all the pressure. Yeah, disregard what I was about to say. Like that? I don't know. No, this is... Maybe this is fine. Because if they play that, I play check. They move their king. And then I take their queen. No, obviously they're not just going to... Yeah, that's not how it's going to go. Let's do it like this. If we're going to play that move, we should play this first. That way we don't take our queen with... take their queen with our bishop. We take it with the rook. We can double up on the open file. Our development is just a lot better. I really don't want them to get like easy development. And I'm like, that's... Oh, son of a... They're going to get out of this one way or the other. Let's start it like this. If they want to do it like this, so be it. If you want to take me, take me. Lord knows I want to take yours. So I think we helped them out with that. I think we helped them resolve some pressure on the squad. But they have no development. I would take the deal just because I think it makes their endgame position like a lot worse. That was close to being a mate. But I mean, maybe they fall for it, right? But like, I don't think you can hang your hat on that. What do you do? Well, they're going to move their bishop. Where would I like them not to move it to? Here. This has got... I mean, I don't know if I can convert this to a win. But we have... Our pieces are developed. Theirs are not really developed. They're still bishops, so they have like some pull, but... It's not that scary. I would love to get a knight to here. So I'm like running the calculations in my head for like... We go here, here, here. All of a sudden now we've got like the chance to take over a powerful square. They take with the bishop. We get our rook down there. We got some serious pressure here. They're going to do it anyway? Okay, I think this is kind of what I wanted. And then... This is good for us. Because we get here, they have to respond by pushing, I think. They push, we put pressure on, I think we end up getting a pawn. And a pawn can make all the difference right now. I think. I'm not saying it definitively because I have no confidence in it. What a delightful little choice you've given me here. It's not much of a choice. I would rather have a bishop and be down a pawn. We could take. We cannot take. for the record. We obviously have to get out of here. And then we're all taking each other's pawns. I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. Do this so we can cover 3 pawns at once. They're going to play like something like that anyway. It's going to be a bloodbath, okay? Interesting. That's interesting. That's pretty interesting. They thought of something I didn't really think of. But now I'm like, if I push this, do I get an advantage? Like, how are you going to defend all these pawns? How are you going to defend them all? I don't know. I would love, dude, can I tell you? I just love this move. Because I'm like, how are you going to, where are you going to go? Because now I go here. Okay, now you play up. At some point, we got to get our king out there. It's just we're in total gridlock here. You can't push me out because then I take this pawn. So you got to. Interesting. Maybe it's scarier than I gave it credit for. Or maybe not, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. You're not going to put me in check. You're going to threaten me. But then I'm going to threaten you. I don't even need to take this. Just the threat of being able to take it is something. Okay, now I'm going to threaten your rook. Now you got to move your rook. Then I'm going to take this pawn. And then I'm going to take this pawn. And I'm feeling okay even with only 52 seconds on the clock. You didn't want to do that one. I'll tell you that much. Close them down. You're going nowhere. Did I just play an endgame? Did I? For the first time in 100 games, did I just succeed in an endgame? Okay, no misclicks, please. That's still closed down. There's nowhere to go. They resigned, I'm sure. Okay. Dude, I'm feeling pretty pogged. 2 blunders, sure. But can I tell you, we executed our plan. That felt nice. I'm not saying I played a perfect game. We made a plan. We made moves that fit with the plan. Nice win. You were never in trouble. Okay, hold on. We made a blunder on move 4 or something. Move 5. They're like, okay, nice move. The Ponziani. They're like, don't do this. You missed a better way to trade pieces. You trade off equal material. What the heck happens if this goes down? That doesn't seem that bad, but I guess this is better. I mean, I'm just a little offended they'd call it a blunder. But I guess this is better because their knight can't come here. This is a rare situation where you push your pawn to c3. Otherwise, you just get kicked out of there instantly. But this is, I understand now because it also pins the knight into this like awful situation where this thing can never move. So you probably, from here, we do this. I don't know what they do next. Probably castle. Then we play something like... Well, then, no, we still play something like that. Yeah, okay. Anyway, show me the moves. No, they play queen. With bishop. I was not even in the ballpark. Now we're long castling. Okay, well, I'm glad that isn't how we played it. They're like roughly equal, but this is a mistake. This move might cause trouble. Okay, retry me. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do here. Because I love that they were so hemmed in. I just didn't know how to get myself out to take advantage of it. Maybe it was this, and then you're threatening, like, this pawn. Nope, they're calculating. There's never a good sign. No, I know what... No, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can do this and not be kicked out, because if they take your bishop, you checkmate them. And if they take you, you take... oh, no, they take you with a knight, because I forgot how knights move, after making fun of my opponent, suggesting maybe they won't know how knights move. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough decision. Maybe I'm just missing something obvious. Is it the check? That would be cool. If this was a puzzle, it would be the check. They actually like this. Okay. They like it as much as my existing move. It's queen to here? All right. Actually, that's good. I understand it. It's actually kind of obvious. Because now, like, we still have the same amount of pressure on the bishop, but they're never going to take it anyway because we have a pawn covering. They have pieces attacking. But now we can move the bishop freely knowing that we're threatening the queen. With a rook instead of our queen, which would be better for us. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Now I understand. I feel like maybe we learned something there. They're like, that's a bad move. Position is still better, but bad move. They thought we were up by 3 here. So do they really just like the take, and then they'll take, we take the pawn? Well, I'll just own this, that this is a lack of confidence for me. Like, I didn't have the confidence in myself that I could turn one pawn advantage into an endgame win here. Because I feel like their bishop covers so much space. Like, our knight, of all the spaces they can move, can only actually move here. And I was like, our mobility is going to be so crushed. I felt like our other trade was better. But obviously the engine disagrees. You had an advantage, but now the game's close to equal. Hold on, you thought I had an advantage? That's nice to hear. They don't like this. They like this then. They like it. It's better. Okay. I can't imagine what it would be. Unless it's just this. Like, that's worse. Is this? They're all pretty similar. It's this. But my king doesn't have as nice of a house anymore. His back wall's blown open. There was only one good move for you there? Blunder? There's only one good move for you there? What? Okay, hit me. Rook here? Check? There's no way it's check. Like, this is good for them. What did you want from me? This? That's the only move that works. Okay, I would never have found it. You've lost your advantage. I disagree. I love this move. I don't know what you want from me. They prefer king in the center. That's actually an endgame principle. So that one's on me. You overlooked a better way to threaten winning material. Okay, fair enough. Good game though. Like, even though I feel admonished after completing it, I still felt like we played a pretty good game in general. Either way though, for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya.